hours from Mataba, and it's mostly asphalt. Just this part, just recently it started this this road, dirt road here, so we got about another hour to go. Sao Felix is a city on the Xingu River, about 300 miles downstream from Altamira. I recently had the chance to go with my friend Clyde Berquist to visit the region. Clyde and Kelsey and their 4 children plan on moving to Sao Felix in the future and start a work in that region. And Brent and I are continuing to seek God as to our future in Brazil, and this seems like one option that we've been wanting to check out. Sao Felix is a town of about 40,000 people. Its main industries are ranching and mining. But what we are really interested in is the remote region surrounding the city. How many people live on the rivers? Are there many people that live in the jungle, accessible only by 4-wheel drive? And more importantly, is there a need for churches? After 12 hours on a bus, Alisson and I met up with Clyde, Alini, and Francisco in Mataba. From there, we traveled 8 hours in Clyde's truck to Sao Felix. The next morning, we headed out onto the river. We had hired a boat and captain who knew the river and asked him to take us as far as he could downstream and back again in 4 days. As you can see, the river itself was beautiful. We were fortunate to have an experienced captain with us. We never would have been able to find the channel among the many boulders, rapids, sandbars, and islands without him. The fishing was also good and provided us with several meals. But what we were really after was information about the people of the region. We stopped at about 5 houses along the way, talking to them about the region, what kind of farming people do, where the schools and churches are, and their daily life. But the one thing that struck out the most was the absence of people that actually lived on the riverbanks. It seems most people live inland, accessible by roads. We even visited one village that had all but been deserted. Only one family remained. We spent 3 nights camping on islands along the way. On the way back upstream, we decided that it would be worthwhile to travel by road into a nearby region to see what the communities there were like. After returning to Sao Felix, the next day we explored an area with several ranching communities, 4 hours by truck away from the city. Okay, this is the city of Taboca. And it seems like a pretty big, decent sized town. It seemed to be less remote than what we initially thought. We found many churches and transportation seemed readily accessible. It's often hard to distinguish what is remote and what it means to be unreached. But we are at least one step closer to better understanding the needs of this area. Even before this trip was over, we discussed the next trip Clyde would like to take to a region that is probably more remote and more needed on a nearby river called the EDD. Again, with much prayer, discussion, and planning, another expedition will go out to gather more information. So, the journey continues as we get acquainted with the needs of communities surrounding us and the plan that God has for Clyde and his family and our own family as well.